Alright, let's go, let's go. Part 2, part 2. Due process naman to, gagi. Due process naman to. VP Sara's right to due process violated in impeachment proceedings. O, ulitin natin ha. Recap. Etong taon to ay mismo The Francisco na sinasite nila as jurisprudence. Eto, nagsasalita na. Hindi natiis yung katarantaduhan ng House at saka ng mga bobo sa paligid natin. Okay? Hindi yan nakatiis. Nagsalita na. Hindi na parang, dude, stop it! You guys are stupid! Eto na. Simulan natin.
Now let's discuss the other features of the Supreme Court decision which says that the VP was also deprived of due process.
AI Francisco lang daw. Buhay pa yung Francisco, hindi siya legendary attorney from the past. Correct, bata pa to. Hindi pa to legendary Pokemon.
Process because she was not given a copy, which some luminaries see as an additional procedure. What do you say about
Di ba yung argumento? Additional procedure daw yon. Hulaan nyo argumento. Surprise, surprise. Kung ano yung argumento natin.
that?
With all due respect, says that is wrong. That is wrong because the House rules of impeachment provide that already.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Francisco?
What the Supreme Court did was only to lay it down clearly, step by step. What's my basis for this? The
Ano nga basis mo dyan?
House rules of impeachment.
Whoa, dude. Are you saying your basis is the House rules itself? Did I hear that right, Kristan na bobo? Ay, sorry. Opinion ko lang yun.
Step by step. What's my basis for this? The House rules of impeachment. The Francisco ruling is incorporated in it.
Pucha, House rules and then Francisco ruling. Oo nga, no. Ano din?
Step by step. What's my basis for this? The House rules of impeachment. The Francisco ruling is incorporated in it. There's notice, hearing. That's the essence of due process. And lastly, and very
Ito, lastly. Makinig kayo. Makinig kayo, mga bobo. Ito. Warningan ko lang kayo, ha. Masakit mga agat tong susunod, ha. Ha, Kristan. Ay. Boy Revolution. Llamas. Medyo masakit yung kagat nito, ha. Pinawarningan ko lang kayo. Kapit, ha. Ito yung last.
that's the essence of due process. And lastly,
Ito. Ingat, hawak ka. Hawak. Medyo masakit yung kagat nito, ha.
very important, it says
Very important, it says.
on the last page,
On the last page daw.
rules of procedure.
Rules of procedure.
The rules of court shall, as far as practicable, apply to impeachment proceedings before the House.
Before the House. Rules of court. Before the House. Hindi yung pwedeng i-argue sa impeachment court yan. Bobo! Medyo masakit yun. Medyo mahapdi. Ulitin natin ha. Baka hindi mo narinig eh.
As practicable, rules of procedure. The rules of court shall, as far as practicable, apply to impeachment proceedings before the House.
Before the House, ha? Hindi Senate. Hindi Senate Court. Before the House. Oh my goodness. Facing against the wind nga ba? Ulitin natin baka ba? Wait. Baka hindi nyo narinig. Subscribe din tan para mga clear. Oh.
What's practicable? Rules of procedure. The rules of court shall, as far as practicable, apply to impeachment proceedings before the House.
Before the House daw eh.
What is the rules of procedure? That's
What's the rule of procedure?
the rules that govern all court proceedings.
Ganun ba? All court proceedings. Oh.
And almost all rules, every rule in that rules of court provides for due process. Filing of a complaint, filing of an answer, period, when to do certain things, that is due process.
But
That
the
is not
naysayers-
new.
Right. But the naysayer
That is not new.
attorney would say, this is only quasi-judicial, this is more political, and maybe what the Supreme Court has done with this ruling is to make it actually more judicial than political in nature. What would you have
More
to say?
difficult.
More difficult too. Yeah.
Hulaan yung argumento. Medyo boring. Alam mo bakit? Narinig nyo na sa atin, sa side natin to eh.
Impeachment in layman's language is a unique proceeding.
Okay. Tingnan nyo ha. Medyo boring kasi this is not the first time you heard it.
But it is also subject to constitutional provisions all over the Constitution.
Yeah. Medyo boring na, no? Bakit? We keep repeating the same shit. They still don't get it.
It is also subject to constitutional provisions all over the Constitution. And a primary of that, principle of that is
Hulaan nyo! Is!
all over the Constitution. And a primary of that, principle of that is
Is! Hulaan nyo nga. Is. But wala dyan sa segment si Boy Revolution aka Bok AK-47. Dapat nandyan para maliwanagan. Sino ba nagbigay ng power to constitute impeachment? Di ba Constitution? Tama. Is.
all over the Constitution.
Oh.
And a primary of that, principle of that is
Is. Tuloy na natin.
the Bill of Rights.
Oh my goodness! Bill of Rights! I told you it's boring. Why? This is not the first time you heard it. Sige. Tuloy na natin. It's so boring.
They cannot say that the impeachment proceedings is not subject to the Bill of Rights. Every step of the impeachment proceedings should be
Every step? What do you mean?
subject to the Bill of Rights.
Isa pa.
Let's
Sige.
say a primary of that, principle of
Oh.
constitutional provisions all over the Constitution. And a primary of that, principle of that is the Bill of Rights.
Yo. It's boring na, no? Going back to basics, Bill of Rights. But dapat mag-ice bucket challenge na lang sila. Hindi na tinatabla ng kape. Boring. One more time. Ay, isa pa.
They cannot say a primary of that, principle of that is the Bill of Rights. They
Boring.
cannot say that the impeachment proceedings is
Binigitid si Atty. Libayan tuloy kanina. Gets na ba mga walang due process sa HOR? Walang due process sa third mode. Sa second mode. Wala.
not subject to the Bill of Rights. Every step of the impeachment proceedings should be
Every step?
subject to the Bill of Rights. And this is not just the right of the respondent to be heard. It's
Oh, not only to be heard.
more important, the right of the complainant to be heard. I have been a complainant a number of times, and I know how it feels when I am not heard by the House.
May nagsalita na kakampi ni Atty. Libayan.
Well, attorney, at the same time, speaking of right to be heard, some of the critics say that the Supreme Court made a rushed decision. They didn't hold oral arguments despite the weight of this case. So as they revisit this
Naiinis ako dyan sa oral arguments na yan. Discretion ng ano yun, korte yun. Hindi lang naman right to be heard is yung oral arguments. Parang tanga naman yun. Sino ba nag-argue niyan? Kabobohan. But oral arguments ba yung right to be heard? Yun lang ba yung way? May
decision
pleadings
on
nga eh.
reconsideration, do you think they should be holding oral arguments this time?
I don't want to preempt what the Supreme Court will do with the motion for reconsideration. In fact, I don't want to go into the merits of the motion for reconsideration. That will be improper for me.
Now, let's just revisit when you filed this petition with the High Court in
Pati history. Dinamay. O, sige, ano nangyari?
2003. This concerned impeachment complaints against Justice Davide.
Yes.
Yes. What made you go to the High Court?
History.
I was familiar. Modesty aside, I was very familiar with the rules on impeachment because prior to November 2001, there is no issue as to as to when an impeachment proceeding is deemed initiated.
There was no issue daw.
It was the impeachment complaint that triggered that.
Yung impeachment complaint that triggered that. Siya talaga landmark case.
But when I filed
Landmark case ba tawag doon?
a second impeachment complaint, the House changed the rules.
Bakit nila change yung rules?
So, I knew that the House changed the rules to bar a second impeachment. Unfortunately for the House at that time, they used it when a second impeachment complaint was filed against Chief Justice Davide. And since I knew the rules and I felt that I was also a victim of these rules,
So strategic yun? Loko ka pala, Francisco eh.
I immediately drafted a petition and filed Francisco versus House of Representatives. Many petitions followed, but if you will examine the ruling, it was my petition that questioned the House rules, and the Supreme Court invalidated the House rules. The petition of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines also
Siyempre, kung unconstitutional yung House rules, di ba? Kaya nga pwedeng makialam sa House rules in the sense of unconstitutional, mawaha sa House rules. Sasampalin mo yung SecGen para maipasa niya, para i-transmit niya sa House Speaker. That's a House rule, di ba? Ang question, pwede mo makialam sa Supreme Court? Oo naman. Yagi, kasama sa rule mo yon, di ba? Yun yung point. Siyempre, doctor ad absurdum lang yon. Okay? Appeal to extremes lang naman yon. Pero yun yung point ko. Na pwedeng pakialaman talaga ng Supreme Court yan. Miski yung rules. It depends. Diba? Question of constitutionality naman kasi yun. Correct!
also questioned the House rules, but it was patterned after my petition.
Okay. So, you're saying the House does not have the leeway to change its rules to suit its power to initiate impeachment proceedings.
Ito. Hulaan nyo sagot. Boring ulit. Kasi diniscuss na rin natin eh. Di ba ang argumento ng isang concurring opinion? Sabi niya, hindi ka pwede gumawa. Totoo naman, pwede kang gumawa ng rules mo. Pero, ang limitation mo is yung Constitution. Kasi, if you are actually have the absolute power to create your own rules, then by necessity, you can actually amend the Constitution. But if you cannot amend the Constitution, then it necessarily follows you cannot change or you cannot make your own rules absolutely. Because your limitation is the Constitution. Tama? Inargue yun ng isa concurring opinion. Tama? Now, with all due respect, you cannot do that. That's not absolute. Yung sinasabi mong gagawa ng internal rules, yung rules ng sa house, that's not absolute. Because if you are able to do that, then you can actually amend the Constitution. But if you cannot amend the Constitution, then it follows that you cannot make your own rules absolutely because your limitation is the Constitution. Parang paggawa lang ng bills yan, they cannot create a bill na ma-violate sa freedom of speech. Correct. Side kasi ng side sa Francisco. Ayun, nagsalita si Francisco. Ayan.
The Constitution says the House has the power to initiate impeachment cases, not impeachment proceeding. There's
Cases.
a distinction there.
Yes,
What
cases.
what the Constitution says merely is that an impeachment case should initiate from the House. And if
So, mali ka. Alam mo yung alam mo yung nagmarunong si Kristan kanina, kinorek niya si Atty. Libayan, sabi niya not complaints, not cases, proceeding. Sinasabi ito, not proceeding. The power to initiate impeachment cases. May distinction. Not proceeding. Di ba ang sabi ni Kristan kanina? Proceeding. Anyway,
it's a valid impeachment and it does not violate from the House. And if it's a valid impeachment and it does not violate the one-year bar rule, the House should file it, transmit it to the Senate. It's as simple as that.
Yan. Francisco. Sir. Salamat, sir. Alam ko, medyo na-annoy ka na doon sa mga taong gumagamit sa pangalan mo at saka sa petition mo. Alam ko yung treatment mo doon sa petition mo na yon is a work of art at ayaw mong mababoy. So maraming salamat at lumutang ka, sir, para naman matauhan yung mga bobo dyan sa paligid, lalo na si Kristan. Opinion ko lang.